All right, and welcome back to Gnome Stones. Here on Gnome Stones today, we have the first video in a new series that I'm calling Hexmap Builds, where I simply make hex maps. We're going to use storytelling and game design principles and make fun, functional maps without getting bogged down in too much frustrating prep time. Now, if you want to know about some of the underlying mechanics and theory of hex maps first, take a look at this other video. In this video, we're just going to focus on the build. As this is the first video in the series, I thought we could begin with a quintessential starter map. A map that any game master needs to get their world rolling. And I'm going to build it during the video with no preparation, just improv and using the tools that I have collected here ahead of time. And so that is to show you how quickly we can make the map that is ready to play just using these tools. So let's take a look at the tools. Our map builder program is called Worldographer. Here it is. Some people, or it used to be called Hexographer, and this program has a lot of different functionalities, and I think it's awesome. And if you have some knowledge about this program, please let me know as you see me use this program. In addition to our Worldographer map builder software, we have some online resources that we're going to use to build our map. This is a map key where we're going to write down stuff that is on the map. In addition, we're going to use a bunch of online resources that provide like some different niches that we can use. So this is one I love. This is a random hex rolling chart. We're going to roll some hexes. It's very helpful, and I use it in a bunch of different capacities. You roll a 20-sided die on the left and a 6-sided die on the right. And then sometimes I roll a die to determine how many hexes of that type we put on the map. This is a great tool. 100 terrain types. This I'm definitely going to use just to establish like an early biome or environment, something we are going for. I'm also on the same site going to use these two D100 lists of just words. Some people call them spark tables. These words are going to help us make things like tavern names, dungeon names, the names of places. Next, we're going to have a tool. It's nice to have one tool that is huge and we can always fall back on, and we're going to use the Tome of Adventure Design. Now, some people who are familiar with this Tome of Adventure Design may say that I am cheating, because honestly, you can make things just with this. But we're not only going to use this, we're going to use it in some specific circumstances, probably around locations and maybe some villain design. But this is an incredible resource, and I recommend you buy the PDF or a hard copy. There are endless charts, and a lot of it is geared towards good game design as well. So I recommend the Tome of Adventure Design here. Alright, here in our wildcard slot, I'm going to try out this one called 101 Terrain Features for Better Combats. I'm not as familiar with this resource, but I've had a lot of luck with the Hipsters and Dragons site recently, so I'm going to use it. I might end up rolling on this chart of random terms or something like that. I am not sure. Then, of course, our trusty Gnome Stones website. Haha. I am going to use this website in all sorts of capacities, probably with some plant creation resources. And I may end up falling back on some of the maps as well. Alright, we got our starter key here. That is something we're going to put location information on this Word document. We're not going to put it just in the map. I don't think that that's a good long-term strategy for organizing the information on your map. Alright, here we have a name generator. This is my favorite name generator, and it contains hundreds of name generators when we're going to use it to make some cool names. Alright, And so, looking at our last resource, I have whipped up a chart of players. Yes, this is a random chart that you can roll to determine the types of players that you will find in the wild. And we're going to roll a series of players, and we're going to use that player roster to inform how we design our world. It's a great way to get creative, to be inspired, is to focus on the players. And so we're going to focus on the players when we build our map. Okay, so let's get started with our build. One of the first questions, one of the first bridges we cross is how big do we want to make our map? One of the reasons that this is one of the first questions is that we have to enter the specifications of how large we make our map on Worldographer. So this is a quintessential starter map, so you can probably guess I am thinking small. But how small? And that is an interesting question. Obviously a lot smaller than the one I have on my screen right now. So I was thinking about some different sizes. Here's a type of map, and I thought this might be good. It's a lot smaller. It's 15 by 18. A map like this can feel small, but I think it can also feel big. And it's interesting that way. When you calculate out how many hexes are in this map, it's actually 270, so quite a few hexes. Now, I don't mind having a lot of hexes because I like there to feel like there's empty space in a map. But how much space do we need? Probably less than we think, and probably less than this. So this 270 hex map is gonna go into another video, I think. And I did a little bit more research. So how many territories are in the game of Risk? It's actually 42. Not very many. There's only 40 spaces on a board of Monopoly. And how many places can you put a settlement in Settlers of Catan, in basic Settlers of Catan at the beginning? 52 possible places. And then that would be a few less after the first one, depending on your first placement. That got me thinking. I think we're going to make a map something like this. This map is our starter map. Yes, it is a mere 6 by 8, 48 hexes, 48 places, and I think there's going to be enough room for us to get started, and it's going to be easy. And it's going to be quick, and that's most important, because what's most important is actually playing the game. Unless what's most important to you is making maps by yourself, in which case a map like this might be ideal, and we can look at that another time. But this is our starter map. Alright, so here's our map. We're going to start rolling. How do we begin? With our players. Okay. I am going to take 4 d12s. A 1, a 3, an 11, and a 6. Alright, so I've rolled a 1, a 3, a 6, and 11. Player 1 likes to smash, want to fight things and break into and out of places. They don't want to just sit around. You got player 3 who wants to tie their backstory into the game, which includes a faction. Paladin type. Player 6 who wants to outsmart the game. They are playing a spellcaster and will poke holes in your plot lines. Audience, if we have a player who wants to poke holes in our plot lines, we're just going to make our worlds better than that. And finally, we have player 11. This player is amazing in every way. Great audience member and respectful around the table. Doesn't give us any flavor clues, though. Players who want action, players who want story, players who want to outsmart the game. Outsmart plus Smash, I'm thinking combat, but I'm thinking interactive combat puzzles. I'm thinking story, combat, fun, adventure. Let's put them down here so none of them get forgotten. I'm not going to give them names. I'm imagining action fights, things of this nature. So I think I'm going to go to my terrain type. And I want to create a biome. This is going to help a lot for me. It's important to know what is inspiring to you, but we're going to roll a biome. A biome is always something that provides a ton of ideas for me. It's a good one. Valley. Valley is fine. Valley is fine. I think that that's actually a great way to create our world. You're gonna think I'm cheating because it's really that easy, folks. I like valleys because for combat fun and action, because you can venture outside of them, kind of like Land Before Time style. So we're just gonna go with that. Now, the thing about a valley is there could be a valley of many temperatures and many aridities, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to roll again. 35. Grassland. Okay, that's good. That's good. We're going to start with a grass valley. All right. So there's a few ways to use this panel of terrain. A lot of people use it as face value, and that is how I've been doing a lot of this map, but I actually have been moving in the direction of putting some specificity on the colors you use so that there is more of a unique feel in your map, because you want it to look unique and original. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I have rolled a medium green color. I'm going to apply it to this grass. It's too dark. It's too dark. That's why they have the light ones. They actually have pretty good grass colors provided. Well, we rolled grassland, and so let's put the grassland color in here. How do we want to orient it? I'm thinking diagonal. How about odds and evens? Even, so we're going to put it the second way. Second way. Right there, I would have gone this way if I roll odd, this way if I roll even. That's something that DMs do. Alright, so our main value is a grassland. Easy. And I just kind of put in some hexes how I was feeling. I don't really have an exact idea here of what's going on. That looks kind of interesting, this little inlet, but I'm not ready for that yet, actually. I like the way that looks. It actually is a little bit symmetrical. So there's a player and they have a faction and they want to tie it into their backstory. Alright, so I have a little list here of stuff we could do. Yeah, I want to put some sort of settlement in here. I want to put some sort of, I'm going to say human built, but it could be any species, and we'll see. I'm going to make this starter map, hopefully, as flexible for D&D races and species as possible. But let's go with a settlement. And we have to decide, is this settlement going to be in or out of the valley? That would be something I'd like to ask the player, and so to simulate that, I'm going to ask the player, and the die will tell me their positivity. Hey, player who cares about their backstory. Want your settlement to be in the safe place or in the wild? A natural 20. Whew. Good thing I did not ask a yes or no question. They want their settlement to be as an interesting place as possible. That's what that 20 is telling me. They want their settlement to be the whole shebang. Whew, I don't even know. Wow. There's a 20, and we're going to put a settlement. We just got to put something in there. So we're going to use these tools to represent what it would be like for this player to tell us about their settlement. We want to make their world based on the player. The players can make the world for us. And so we're just simulating that. Azure in a 27 forest, the Azure forest. I love it. It's great. We're gonna have forest. We're gonna use Azure. All right, what color do you think Azure is, folks? I'm gonna look it up. I know it's blue. I just mean what shade. Cool. Azure. Let's do this. Don't be afraid of custom colors. I think let's definitely use custom colors here. Yeah. A little bit dark. Maybe we can... Yeah. Okay, another thing though is we're making maps. We don't want our maps to be too colorful, because bold colors feel good, but they end up not looking like maps. This is great. There is an Azure forest, and that is one of the defining features here of this valley on the north side. And we're gonna say that there's four. Let's roll 20. Agason. Ooh, another. Okay, so folks, I've just rolled two 20s in a row, but it's telling me now that we need more Azure Forest. and I got a 4, another 4. Wow. Okay, it's a lot of Azure Forest, but the dice are loving it. Don't want too much though. Remember, less is more. We're making a small map. Azure Forest, backstory. I am immediately thinking a plot where this forest is being threatened. It's being threatened. Potentially environmental destruction. It just fits with the blue forest, and that's something you want to fall back on. Let's we look at our world and the problems of our world to create compelling things in life, and that's what we're going to do today. And also what we're going to do today is we're going to go to classics, because that's what I like, and terrain as well. I like classic. So let's find a settlement. I'm sizing up this settlement. It's okay to make the settlements look different, just to do a little art with these things to make them look more unique. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'll just put that here. I'm not sure if they live in the trees, but that's what we'll do. Alright, so that's our first location. Woo, we got a location down. There are a few ways we could note this location. One way would be to use this post-it note feature, which I do use in some of my maps, but we're not going to use this today. We're just going to use the map key. How do we signify the map key? We're going to go down to labels. And we're going to do new text label. And we're going to do A. Alright, and we want to have a color that works well with our theme. Green and blue here. We might want a navy or a red, maybe just a black or a gray. I do like outlines. Some people don't. What about this nice gray? Right now this looks weird because of the gray. I suspect that we're gonna fill this whole map in. Some maps, like the little A, you're gonna want to leave hexes blank so that people can explore them. We're probably just going to fill them all in, and you could just imagine some of these hexes we're actually going to leave open to the interpretation, and some of these locations will be found later in the game through emergent play. We're going to leave some room in this map. We're not going to over clutter it. We're going to pick a color. That's what we're going to do. White feels good right now. That does feel good. I don't like the font. You can mess around with the font. You can do Comic Sans. Just kidding. I'm always a big fan of this one. Not for this though. Not quite. Yes. Yes, I like this one. It's clear, it's big. The white is nice right now. What if we went with black? Ooh, looks weird. Let's try dark red. Not as good. Let's try green. Gotta try stuff, guys. We're gonna try stuff. Oh, I really like the green. We got like a nice tan. Kinda like that. We're going to put an A right here. Bam. Want to put them all in the same place, and I'm going to have it be this corner up here. All you got to do is change the letter, and we got a B. You want to turn that off so you can go to the other features. We're going to make a place. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to call it a Hamlet. I think we're going to call it a Hamlet. Adventure design could help us out. Settlement size. You ever use this? I like to. Alright, take a look here. We do have hill and mountain here. We could use that. Maybe there's some forest, general wilderness. That's stuff we could use. Cities and settlements we could use as well. That's kind of what I'm looking for, I think, because I want a size of settlement. Or just like a word to help describe it. Wow, pride of the town. That could be fun. Pride of the town. Domesticated animal. Taverns and beer. Pride of the town is the tavern. Or the beer. It's an interesting one. Depends on if that player likes that. Or the size or taste of local vegetables. That feels kind of like a smash hit, right? The size and the taste of the local vegetables. It's the pride of the town. And they can have a cool tavern too. They can have a cool tavern. A nice vibe. Let's give it a name. I'm going to do a Lithuanian name and mix it with some other type of name. This is our names, fantasy name generator site, amazing site. A 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Zenona Olunkaskien. Zenona. So we're going to take the first name Zenona, which is an amazing name. I don't know anybody with that name. we're going to go over to, we're going to go to Middle Eastern Hittite. Alright, so we got Zenona, and we're mixing it. Got a 2. I really like that. Gianona. That sounds nice, and it's a little bit different from the actual name Zenona, because I don't want to just straight up take a name. But we're going to say Zianona. Alright, so Zianona, and it is known for a crop of a very large vegetable. Or it could be something not a vegetable. So this is a good opportunity to go right into our plant creation package, which is a tool that I have on the Gnomestones website here. The plant creation package we can use to make the plant. Alright, so we're going to call it Zianona. And so it has a, it's known for its tavern. That's great, a great place to start. Or have it be like a safe place. We could bullet some of this, but I'd rather it just be short enough that we can have it be a single blurb. Alright, it's known for its tavern. And we're going to go over to, I think, the Gnomestones website. We're going to go to the link farm here, where I have a lot of different resources, and I'm going to find, here, I'm going to find Tavern Generator in D&D speak. Okay, I'm going to generate, and I'm going to take a couple of elements. This is a good way to get a bunch of information, and then we'll just pick like one of them. The old stone, 3 stories tall. I like the 3 stories tall part. Old stone is nice. I like that it's stone and tall. Those things are nice. There's some nice foods here, gravy and pumpkins. This is getting us thinking about the food part. And then let's go back to adventure design here. Thank you, D&D Speak. Let's go to adventure design. And let's go up to a location. And we'll go to a... Alright, so let's roll on 1.1b. 84. Sinister. Skeletal. Freestone something. Let's use this list over here. See, we're just throwing words together. We're using our DM's filter. Ooh, honey. I actually really like the name 3 Stone Honey, or the idea of like stone in honey. And we're going to call it the 3 Stone, and it serves this vegetable served with honey. That's what it sells, served with honey. That's great. And so there's also going to be beehives. We're going to put beehives in here. Sometimes you can go to all features and just type the thing in. There's a few ways to use this feature, especially when you override the color. You can use any of these items and just use the shape. Most of them aren't that helpful, but some can be used. Now, beehive, how do we want to represent this? Maybe like this, maybe like this. We're going to do black. We're not going to mess around with different colors today with this. Yeah, it's nice. Let's roll a die to see which one it goes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beehives. This is the roof. This is the roof. This is already pretty good as beehives. And then we can put a circle maybe, or like a little square. Yeah, that would be good. The square is, in my opinion, a little bit too square. Sometimes the square is a little bit too square for my liking. Don't worry about it. I actually think I'm going to use the underside of this tower. Let's scale the tower down. We'll scale the height independently, make it short. Short tower. Let's stick it in here. It's a beehive. I like it. I think it looks like a beehive. And we also know that this is like a pagoda too. We're going to unscale that. Let's put a roof on here. Boom. I like that. That's how you know they're related, huh? That's wrong. That's the wrong spot. You can move them. It's not that hard. select our text label here. We're gonna make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, 45, sure. And then we're gonna just make a new one. Comes in over here, I don't know why. Zianona's beehives. Maybe Zianona was a person even. Alright, so we need to figure out the vegetables served at this tavern. We're also going to put probably the fields here with that vegetable. And this is a great opportunity to use the Gnome Stones plant creation package. So we're going to go over to Gnome Stones website. Got our plant creation package here. Alright. I might make a different video on how to use this, but we're just going to do it the fast way. Alright, we got our name generator already. So let's use similar. I like the names we're going with the Lithuanian, and then what did we do? An Ottoman name? Scamanthus. Sco. Sco's great. Reminds me of skooma, but we're doing Sco. Skomji. Skoji. We call it Skoji. That's pretty nice. Skoji. That's good enough for now. It serves their famed vegetable, Skoji. Back to the plant creation package. We're going to get our colors. Alright. How many colors do we want? 3. It's as easy as that, folks. 3 colors. Those are weird colors. How are you going to eat something that look like that? I guess because it's the Azure Forest. So these are going to be blue as well. Blue and brown. Maybe some silver flecks. Ooh, that's a great idea. Okay, I'm thinking there's going to be a lycanthrope proper. This is just stuff that comes out of nowhere, but there's going to be a lycanthrope thing going on, and I think there's going to be an anti-lycanthrope property in this vegetable. Maybe it's even why it's there, but people forget. In the Skoji. Skoji sounds a little gross. And I think that's going to be some puzzle for us to think about. It's going to provide us with some action. Let's say we're going to have a were creature, and we're going to have it not be a werewolf. We're going to have it be weird. And that's going to be, I think, a primary antagonist. They're definitely going to be lost beyond all cause, so the smash person can smash them and not feel bad about smashing them. And this really just, everything is falling into place, so that's really good. Very interesting. But the lycanthrope thing is going to be coming back, of course, and that's going to be a problem. It's going to be threatening here. And I'm going to think probably the person who's making the lycanthrope army, I misspelled that, the lycanthrope army is probably a villain who's also going to try and cut down the forest, not just because of their evilness, but because they know about the Skoji being the key. But no one else maybe knows, except for like a couple wise people. This is the essence of our story and of our map here, and now we have this awesome map. So let's keep going with our plant. We got started. I don't know I'm thinking a gourd, like large gourds, right? Is that wrong? That's just immediately where my mind goes to. But this is another plant generation package. You could use this one, it's nice. But I just like to use it specific. It doesn't have all the things I like, but it does have a nice shape. So let's get some shape. We already know it's a vegetable thing, but maybe it will help contextualize that. A small tree. Yeah, that's fun, because I was thinking vines, but they're going to grow on small trees in the Azure Forest, and that's super fun. With these like cool fruits or vegetables on them, but what do they taste like? That's the weird part, and I don't really have like a... Alright, I'm going to look up a random food chart. So I have picked up a random food generator here. I just clicked it up so that we can figure out what this strange vegetable tastes like. And I think I'm gonna keep this in our plant creation package in the future. I'll add it in because this is great for foods and stuff like that. It doesn't have to taste good because they're not eating it. 52. Bread. I saw chocolate over there too. That was nice. But I'm gonna roll again. 26. Chili. Ooh. I'm thinking spicy chocolate. A little spicy chocolate, like Mexican chocolate. Some people call it peppery. Yeah, peppery spicy chocolate is what it tastes like. It's awesome. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to want to make some changes to this map. I want to put the Azure Forest in the valley, I think, so I'm going to move it a bit to the south. One really good feature to get your color is if you have lost your color, let's say it's blank, it's purple, I don't know, you can click select, double click, and if it's a custom color, it will switch to that color. Now it doesn't work if you're not using a custom color. One downside to using the colors that are provided by this palette, because you can't switch back to them if you want to use them for another. So anyway, we're going to get our color by clicking on it, and then go back to the trees. Simple as that. And I want to move this south. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna transpose it. It's not that many. Let's get our grass. We'll just bring our grass in. Changes it a little bit. I believe we can group these. I don't intend to move them again, and that's why I haven't grouped them, of course. But you can click and then control click. Got our beehive. Move down as well. This way we can put in some of our hills. I'm gonna start thinking about hills too for our valley. So we have two sides. We have our top left side, northwestern, and we have our southeastern side in the bottom right. And this side is bigger. This side's smaller. This side can contain more, and so I think this side needs to contain villain, drama, and this side should contain interesting, and this is, of course, we are here on the Gnome Stones channel, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and think that something like there is going to be gnomes there. And, you know, it just turns out that way sometimes. Got some hills over here. Yeah, some hills. Yeah, that's what I think I want to do, is not this green, but something more like a peach. Yeah, see this we can maybe have be both. Maybe we want to make it a little bit more like, yeah, like that. And then we can but this is what I'm going to go with, actually. I'm going to go with this. Yeah. And so we'll use these three colors. And it shows that the blue is a little bit different. I might even, let's take the blue down just a little bit. Imperceptible difference. Alright, now I'm going to take our letters. Nice. Alright, we fixed that. Not too much problem. We're going to have something cool up here, something evil down here maybe with the problems, and I think that will be great. But the plant has been offering us so much because it's kind of the center of the whole thing. It's kind of the center of the whole thing. It makes sense they serve with honey, I guess. Serves with honey and bread. Let's go. Delicious. And also you can have onion mash if you... Also, all the drinks are made out of it. These are how things go. Great. Let's finish up the plant and move on to a couple other elements. All right, we got our colors, we got our structure, and we still don't even know if it looks like an apple or what. We got all our flavors from that awesome chart that I am going to use in the future. Oh, blackberries? They look like looks like giant blue blackberry structure. Like, you know, like a raspberry, the round chambers are separate parts. I'm not sure if they're seed chambers or actually. Let's check our weather charts and kind of get more seasonality here. I'm going to roll an 8-sided die in the Gnomestone style. It's a 555. Oh, so that'd be warm. It'd be late summer, and 55 is summer. Clear skies, yeah. They like clear weather. We don't really need it in that way. I do like the summer vibe though. It's like a warm valley, and it grows in warm, sunny conditions. But we could get a random magical effect and see sometimes they corroborate what we already know in a very wonderful fashion. These pink dice are gonna be alright results, but let's move over to the red ones. Do they show up on my screen? Let's check. Yeah, they do, okay. 20, 25. Alright, so on this chart we go click 25, and then we roll again. The corner, always in the shadowy corner. The 97. Each day a caster is 1% likely destroyed by a meteor strike. Oof, sometimes they explode, maybe. That is very interesting and probably something I'm going to filter out. But it's an interesting idea. We're not doing a meteor theme, I don't think today. Though I do love me a good comet theme. Maybe a small chance of exploding. Looking at our players, I'm assuming this person's faction is part of this town, but you know, for player 3, we're just kind of assuming that we've talked to this player about this, but I'm thinking about whether A should be the biggest town in this world, and I'm thinking about whether there should be other factions available. Like, certainly there's that lycanthropic evil faction that we're assuming is evil. We haven't ruled there yet, but you know, there's a couple other choices, and I think I want to put another settlement that represents a more civilized aspect of this map than A, but I don't want to put a city that's bigger than A on this map. I want A to be the biggest settlement because I don't need to put more into it. You can spend a lot of time putting your people into A, and you don't need another settlement than just one. So I'm thinking maybe more like something like an outpost or something like that, to kind of go across from it on the other side of the valley and represent the other parts of the world. So an initial quest could be they have to go like deliver something there. You know, this would be a place of commerce and outpost trading. Here we're combining like some quest elements and how we can get the players within this small area. We're just going to use smart game design to get our players to go north and east. We don't have that rebellious player that I put up here in number 7, so we don't have to worry about that. Like, let's think about starting places for your player. Obviously A is a great first choice, but it kind of spills the beans in a way where, what if you started them on the road, on their quest from A to somewhere out here, and they just hear about their town before even seeing their own town, and that gives a way of the players to discover the town even if it's technically their own. Because during the game they'll come into it and you can describe it for the first time, and that will be really fun. I think that would be more enjoyable than just like dropping them right in A and being like, here's your town, which kind of, this gets that player who wants to outsmart the game. Just thinking about how can I mess around in this town? How can I corner the Skoji market? And that's fine, but we're gonna try and avoid that if we can. Um, so that's a long way of saying that I'm gonna make a tower in the top right corner. Really should be an outpost. I think it would be interesting if it's not just like a tower, but it's also like a weird business that's a little bit silly. It's nice to have a little bit of humor in your game, I think. All right, 66. What does I keep? Parchment makers. Okay, they make parchment out of the azure forest trees. Unfortunately, yeah, of course they do. We still don't know kind of what it looks like. I think it should be a kind of a strange building because it's like parchment, right? It's supposed to be a parchment factory kind of. It could be made out of like a weird material or something. Just something to give it a unique vibe. Let's go up to our something to give it a unique vibe is going to be up here, up at the top. Some of these are the best ones. 83. Nest. 36. Dungeons. This has given me some interesting ideas because I got some things related to bees. I got hive was one of the things I saw, and I also saw dungeons. Dungeons are good, definitely good, because there should probably be dungeons in this location. Secret connection to an actual dungeon, and of course we're gonna have a couple dungeons in here. But here's what we're gonna do. We don't want too many bees. We have this bee cabin. Things like that. It's just like a place they can go. Because we're gonna have a nest. We're gonna put a name. I think I'm gonna have it be a name and then nest. So let's get our name list. Goblin, yeah, I like that. Let's do troll. Let's do troll. Ogre is closer, I think. 8. Twiz rogs. I like Twiz, but I don't know about Rog. Twiz mix, yeah, sounds weird. A lot of hard sounds, which is nice. Yeah, I like that. Mac Tooks. Maybe with Mac Tooks Nest. Mag Tooks Nest. Alright, so this is a location, and it is an outpost, but it's not like a normal tower. Instead, it looks like a beehive or like a paper wasp's nest, but it's almost a maze of papery corridors and hallways, and it's a very odd place, all made out of paper in this way, and very flammable, of course. Magpie's nest, but it's actually made out of paper from the trees from the azure forest. I think there should be an area, that they do get to take trees, maybe up here. Maybe there's like a workstation or something. And they process it into the walls of Magtook's nest, which looks like a big paper wasp nest but slightly blue. I think that's going to be awesome. And I'm gonna do a scaling height thing to make it like this weird beehive, I think. So what I'm thinking for the vibe is that this place is like an outpost that goes to the main city, and there should be a road to it and stuff like that. And ostensibly, the main purpose is to process paper. And to process paper parchment for the realm. Maybe for spells or something like that. But the thing is that I could make it like slight blue. I might do that. And over here, E4, B4, E4. We're gonna add that in here. Like this, and that's kind of like a snowman looks like. Alright. The thing about Magtook's nest, it doesn't even really process paper. It does process its own walls. It's probably to conceal their evil scheme. Let me write some of this down. A paper wasp's nest like. See how much we're getting out of just a little bit of notes this way. Hopefully these are enough to help remember this kind of world, but if it all connects and has like an energy, it should be memorable, right? I think so. Made of Azure Forest trees. Export pulp and paper for parchment to use in the realm. This is just a friend. The nest conceals ancient and nefarious secrets. Players will learn that the paper is actually no good for writing on. So this is a place that feels authoritative, feels suspicious, feels like you can't say all the things you want to say because people are listening through those thin walls, and where people can realize that there's actually like suspicious things going on for the puzzle player, for the backstory player, and what they're doing is they're really covering up what's going on, and we know that that's something to do with lycanthropy and cutting down this forest, and the plants of course stop the lycanthropy. Like maybe the people have been missing from here, like yeah, people have started missing from there, but not the ones who eat the plant. Yeah. Guards and employees. So this is the mystery. Guards and employees have gone. Let's not say employees. I hate that. Guards and workers have gone missing from the nest. But only the ones who don't eat Skoji. And then you can like have it be a mystery, like a clue, like, oh, I love Skoji. All the ones who are still there love Skoji or whatever, because like that's what's how you get resistance, I guess, somehow, or you don't get hypnotized and like brought to the dark place down here or something. I'm not sure. So sometimes those things are a little bit hard to figure out, but you want it to be clear, and we want to keep it simple too. We don't want to add too much. And this is the whole triangle of the plot really going on. We don't want to add too much more to this. And so let's add our letters in. So we're gonna have a C and a D, and the C is gonna be down here, and it's actually gonna be Skoji Fields. Skoji Forest? Skoji Forest. It'll be an animal too. It's gotta be a weird animal. But this is really coming together. Okay. Let's let me take a look at some elements and what else do we want in here? Alright, so we want to have our villain. We want to put our villain in, and we want to put him in down here somewhere. So let's go to our villain charts. And while we're here, let's take a look at patrons and targets. 999. Connoisseur. Maybe the villain is a connoisseur of something paper. Probably one villain in each place. We'll have it that way. One bad person in each place. Probably one bad person in the hometown who's going to be a traitor. Accomplices over here, and the evil figure, the BBEG as they say. Connoisseur is an interesting one. Let's not worry about that too much. I just want to think about the villain because I think it's going to influence their lair and what we want their lair to look like. Now I'm thinking hills, of course. We're thinking hills, but of course we already know their motivation to a certain extent. We already know their motivation is to destroy the community, as we just rolled. So we want to destroy these plants and create an army of these lycanthropes. So let's go to an animal chart. Let's go to an animal chart. We'll go to Gnome Stones. All right, so let's go to Gnome Stones and go to the link farm. And I think we want an animal that someone could be turning into. Something strange. Obscure would be the second half, but let's find out. We could even have two. Earthworm. Wereworms. That's good, right? 64. Well, werebees would be good too. Damn, that fits so well. Werewasps. It's gotta be werewasps. I can't believe I didn't see before. I'm a fraud. Alright, that's horrible to fight too. Jeez, that's just terrible to fight. That's brutal. Werewasps. Maybe I'll just put like a little tree. Okay, so there are paper wasp, werewasps, and they're actually here, but the layer's up here. Go back to our villain, and maybe we could leave a couple of these hexes unexplored. That would be interesting. That would be kind of interesting. We could make them an interesting creature. I'm not opposed. I think it could be fun. They could also be a person. I want to go to a little bit of characterization here. So back to the lake farm, and then we'll do character building. We'll do this. Thank you, D&D Speak. A rogue beekeeper, an evil beekeeper. Damn, but be evil wasp keeper, the wasp man. I don't want to say that they're gonna die, but I'll be waiting for you on the other side, the wasp side. He wants to turn himself into like a wasp team. He's gonna turn himself into the queen. He's gonna turn himself into the queen. That's gotta be. I see. So, and then how is he gonna do it? This is part of the tactics. Is he gonna scare off the town? Is he gonna chop it down when no one's looking? Or is he gonna try and use like bureaucracy, which I do kind of think that's funny. We'll go back to the Tome of Adventure design. Spread dissension. Okay, so maybe to spread lies and rumors. I do like the idea of like potentially going to cut them down or something, like these are the new areas. The old forest is almost done and they're going to need to cut down the Skoji fields, including the house. Both like these two hexes, like why? It'd be horrible to cut down these two hexes, so the ministers, the ministers forest, the ministers foresters to cut down the Skoji fields. Yeah, I think that's okay, because there will still be smashing, there'll be fighting, of course. And then there's going to be faction, and then there's going to be, and like quest to save their faction, and then there's going to be some puzzle. And the puzzle's discovering why this is like this, and maybe we'll put a couple other things into. I like when the world is the puzzle itself rather than just like plopping puzzles down, though sometimes that can be really fun to actually make a session feel unique, but we're not going to start there. Lair of the Wasp Man, Dungeon of the Wasp Man, it's just like, yeah, underground paper wasp. Listen back here. And we're going to have it be done. Now you can specify a dungeon any way you want. You're going to want to be consistent, so this could be our dungeon. Doesn't really symbolize a wasp thing very well, which is kind of why I like to use the cave symbol. Like, this just feels so dungeon-y to me. Yeah, let's do that. The wasp tunnels, and so we would have our main dungeon be here, and a secondary one be here. We could even have a fun third one be here if we wanted, but we don't necessarily need that yet. This is we have three good things going on. We have this thing, and this thing, and I really like that, having a nice rule of threes, some nice triangle theory, ikebana, you could say, which is Japanese flower arranging. But these three things come together in a nice triangle. It could be interesting to have something weird on the side, but it almost complicates it right now, though I think something should be up here. And we're gonna have maybe we'll have like a different triangle of like kind of weird things. So maybe we'll shoot for that. Something in each one of these spaces. The wasp tunnels, lair of the wasp man. We want kind of something that's a little bit chaotic or wild, I think. A little bit different. And something that could be used by the players, maybe, an item type deal. So let's go back to, the Tome of Adventure design, I think. Right from the top. 70, 81. See what we can do. Mud. Do we need mud too, really? Mud mounds. Mud mounds of the crippled. Mud mounds of the crippled sorcerer. Yeah, I mean, it's already a weird, the wasp man, so we don't need a mole man too. Mud mounds. Yeah, I think we should have mud mounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's roll on a d4. This could be a place where there are moles. It could be a place where there are gnomes. Yeah, probably a gnome hideout. In gnome stones, there are always gnomes somewhere. And we're doing a gnome stones map, so that's the way it's going to be. The mud mounds. I think the mud should be good for something. 93, 91. Nearest town is populated entirely by illusions. Protect from stings. Can't get stung if you coat yourself in mud. Alright, so I'm thinking about this too. If you have a player who's deeply scared of wasps, maybe don't play this game with them. People are gonna have to dislike wasps a suitable amount. Or maybe even a lot, but hopefully differentiate them from nice bees somehow. There can be nice bees up here. Maybe the beehives up here, there's honey. They trade with the honey. Beetle honey. That's weird. We have there's a whole bee theme going on. These are you're like, oh, the honey comes from there. No, the honey comes from the beetles. The honey definitely comes from the beetles. Just more like a mound, a termite mound. Maybe I could use a couple of volcano shapes. Ooh, too many now, but I like that. You know, we're doing bugs today, apparently. The honey beetle hives. So I want to go back to actually our very first resource, which I haven't used at all. And 4-1, a farm village. We have that. Thank you, but we have that. Magical woods. I think we have that, right? We have magical hills. We could have some magical forest. I think we're gonna have a forest maybe with some fairies, leprechauns. Could be fun. 100 Feywild encounters. Forest where it never stops raining. Kind of weird. And this has a hag. I don't know if we need a hag when we already have our nice old lady friend and also our nice old lady friend, meaning we'll have to rename this cabin. Alright, so we're gonna go to the encounter charts in the advanced D&D DMG. So we're gonna roll on the fairy and sylvan settings. 86. Alright, so we rolled Sylph. So it's gonna be the Sylph forest. Always drizzling. They're gonna have some secrets for you. They could help you out. It's either down here. Let's put it up here. Sneak it in here somewhere. Probably just right here, right? Do we want a couple of colors of forest on this map? I think it will be okay. And so then you'd want to do some research into sylphs and their elemental things of air magic to blow away wasps. Now, are they only going to be fighting were-wasps this whole time thing, though? That's the thing. I think there should be another bad people. I think there needs to be a group of, like, bandits that are, like, kind of chaotic evil, but also, like, that I legitimately want them to be able to, like, fight sometimes. Alright, so this is an urban gangs table. I think it's great, even if we're not doing urban. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what people assume why people are missing is because they are known to be assassins. But maybe they have a second motive? Heists. Yeah, they like to do heists, I'm sure. And they probably steal the plants. I think this is a good spot here. The right amount of time for the players to travel is the amount of time that it's fun for them to travel. So, and while it might be fun to test them and to make it long and arduous to travel, it's got to be a game at least, or like have enjoyable things along the way. They're leading as a dashing swashbuckler. Yeah, it's fun. Bronze crown, we'll call it. Steal the Skoji. They target kids who steal the Skoji for recruitment. They want to control the Skoji trade. Alright, so they're trying to like take over the Skoji trade, stealing Skoji, planting them, but they're completely ineffective at this, and sometimes the Skoji are exploding and giving them some weird effects. This is good. Alright, so do we want like one more thing? The center is a little bit empty. The center is a little bit empty. We could put that up there. Let's roll here, while we're here. A vineyard. Ooh, yeah, like a wealthy ranch owner or something. That could be nice. Yeah, I think there needs to be something with clues probably, and like a tunnel that connects or something. Or like a dungeon. Yeah, like a ruin. A ruin. This one, yeah. This is something that's going to somehow connect these two things under the ground, I think. It's good to make your things connect under the ground somehow. And there's like a villain here. Yeah, and then we want there to be something evil here. Let's see what we can get. Come on, charts. Swamp, yeah, it's swampy there. I like that. Castle of the Wild Vignaron. Alright, so it's the Castle of the Wild Vignaron, which is like a winemaker, and now it's a swamp and there's only tainted fields, but it's a place where you may want to go adventuring. I want there to be another landmark over here, a big rock or something. The rock that looks like a thing. Could be anything. Alright, the castle's nice. Let's take a little, let's wrap up our bandit group before we close that tab, because we're almost done here. They have a special weapon. That could be fun too. I think that could be great here. Sticks and stones. On principle. Oh, and then there's their tactics chart. See, this is a great chart. Screaming and shouting. That's awesome. I assumed that was gonna happen. They gotta live in like they live in an old ranch house or something. We could put some more marsh in. I wouldn't mind some more marsh, and I also wouldn't mind a different color for this marsh. Just keeping it marshy. Or like ocean. Does it need ocean? No, not really. Not really. I wouldn't mind having a couple dots of forest though, to kind of give it some color. What's in here? Let's do a random magic card. That can be really helpful. Rocks balanced in a very peculiar fashion. People would love to push that down. I'm sure the player who likes to smash would love to push down a tower. Heck yeah. A little Stonehenge sign. That's great. Okay. And then we're going to put in a road. So this is all we need. That's K. So we have 11 locations. And the map feels really full, and like there's a lot of extra space too. And there's space too if you wanted to have something random show up in any of these hills. You could do it. You could do it. There's not a ton of space, but there's space. So this is something that is a little bit harder on this program in my opinion. Alright, so we're going to draw our road here. Alright, I think that is just about good. Alright, and I think you can shift click, yeah, to delete individual ones. That's very helpful. Very helpful. And then control drag for this one. Great. Deselect, and boom. Our road looks pretty road-like. Pretty road-like indeed. Perfect. Perfect, okay. So I think that's pretty close, but now I remember there's another location. The Minister's Forest. And that is the place of conflict, isn't it? almost all cut down. Okay, let's see. Let me double check, make sure we have everything we need, but this map is almost done. We're gonna have to name this valley. The Valley of the Azure Forest. We're gonna call it the Azure Forest, I think. But what should we call this valley? We can give it a fantasy name, or we can give it like a functional name, and sometimes those are the best. We should just call it the Azure Valley, I think. Have done more than enough. You can sweat the details as much as you want to, but you know, I'm gonna do it this way. Boom. The Azure Valley. And so now we have our starter map just like this, but that's all you need is a few charts, a few resources. The resources that I used here, I will put in the information below the video. And happy to see you here again, here on Hex Builds. And we'll see what we get into next time on Gnomestones.